Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm kind of just sitting on my deck. I wanted to have a chat with all of the moms, all the homeschooling parents in general. And this is kind of like a little chat, a little heart to heart. I see a lot of moms in these mom groups. I see a lot of people in general all over the world. And, you know, my heart is heavy because what I see is a lot of people who are discouraged from homeschooling their children. And I just want to tell you that you can do it. You're an adult. You got up this morning, you clothed yourself, you fed yourself, and you're paying your bills. You are doing things that adults do, and all you got to do is start off by teaching that to your kids. Nowadays, kids don't even know how to survive. Think about the things that you wanted. Okay, trucks, like what's going on? As soon as you start a video, you know what I'm saying? This is why I can never get them out. But, the things that you wish you had known. How to write a check, what your address is, how to count, how to do percentages, like how to figure out sales in your head. All of that stuff you can teach your kids. You use Google, you find out yourself, and then you teach it to your kids. It's not hard. You can do it. You don't have to be some genius. The teachers who are teaching at your schools are no smarter than anybody else. They took a test and they prepared to be a teacher, and they learned that material just like they have to learn anything else, and they teach it to your kids. You can do it too. I hear a lot of people being discouraged. Their parents are telling them, oh, you can't do it, you're not smart enough, and who's gonna make money, this and that. Listen, I want you to subscribe to my channel. I want you to subscribe to my channel because I'm gonna tell you how to find the money. I'm gonna tell you how to make money so that you can homeschool your children. And I don't want you to let anybody stop you from educating your children. If you had your children out of your body, or you took time to adopt and go through the very, very strenuous process of adopting a child, if you took a child in, you can teach your children at home. You can homeschool your children. All you're doing is teaching them what you know. And then yes, you will get to a point where you say, all right, well, I don't know algebra. I don't know how to do it. I'm not good at it. There's so many resources now. I'm going to show you the resources that I use. You can do this. You can do this. There's Outschool. There's different programs that you can buy. And like I said, if you are strapped for cash now, the goal is to work with what you have. And then on my channel, we're going to talk about how you can find additional monies to put towards your lifestyle and your children's lifestyle. So here's what I want you to do this week. The first thing I want you to do is find out your state regulations. I'm going to do videos about that as well. Find out what your state regulations are, okay? So for example, if you live in Kentucky, you go and you put in Google, you say Kentucky state regulations for homeschooling or Kentucky homeschooling, and you just sort through that information until you find a government website. Make sure it's a government website, and they will tell you what you need to do to teach your children, okay? So once you find out what you need to do, this is a process. You're going to have to be organized. You're going to have to take control of the situation. To be honest, teaching your children is the least of your worries, okay? Keeping up with your paperwork for your state, keeping up with your recording and stuff like that, keeping track of your time management. We're going to go through all of that stuff on my channel. But actually teaching your children is going to be the least of your worries. I'm going to go through all of the things that I decided to do. Now, I live in the state of North Carolina. It is, oh my gosh, it is super easy to teach your children. And I'm just going to jump out there and say, if you live in a state like New York, my hometown, if you live in New York State, it's a lot of requirements. You have to get your curriculum approved, then you have to do quarterly reports, you have to keep a certain amount of records. It is hard to keep the regulations in New York State, but you might want to consider moving depending on what your family situation is. One of the things that I definitely do promote is learning how to work from home. I know a lot of moms were doing remote teaching with GoGo Kid and VIP Kid. That has now shut down. So I am going to try to teach you guys how to stay on top of making money online without leaving your home, and being able to homeschool your children. So right now what I did was when we moved back to the States, because I was living abroad, we moved back to the States, and I said, well, I don't know what's going on with the school situation here. Every time I turn around, there's a school shooting. I don't like how that looks. And so I said, all right, well, I'll try it for a little while. And then sure enough, my kids were like, it's loud. They're not learning. This is weird. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to take you out to school. So the first thing I did was I took my first son out to school. All you have to do is discharge him in North Carolina. They cannot ask you any questions. If you want their school records, they have to provide those. So I took my first son out. Then the pandemic hit. And I just took my second son out. And then my baby, who was supposed to go to kindergarten, obviously she couldn't go. Now, I am going to suggest, this is a heart-to-heart, this is a chat. I am going to suggest that you take your children out. Now, first you got to go to the state regulations because you got to see how difficult it is, what they require. But I am going to suggest that you take your children out of these schools because they are going to ping pong these kids back and forth every time somebody coughs, and your child cannot learn like that. Your child needs a stable environment to learn in. And I am going to, if you dedicate to me and you subscribe to my channel and you leave me comments and you tell me what you need, I am going to dedicate to you because, like I said, I'm trying not to burst into tears. I am trying not to burst into tears because I hate to hear anybody, get discouraged from doing something that is so beneficial to you and your family. If your family needs money, we're going to find it. If you don't know what to do, we're going to get help, okay? And I'm going to start the party with another video about state requirements. I'm going to go through the North Carolina state requirements, which are pretty easy, and then we could go state by state. We're in this together. I don't want you guys to participate in a system that is not serving you. I don't want you guys to be fearful of what's going to happen to your babies. I want you guys to be healthy and happy. I want you guys to learn. I hope this video was not too dark and New World Order-ish and all that stuff, because it's not like that. It's not. You're just deciding to teach your kids in your own house. That's all it is. And you don't need this big whiteboard. You don't need this huge Encyclopedia Britannica. Like I said, if you know how to write a check, if you know how to pay your bills, start off with teaching your child that. It does not have to be a formal classroom setting. None of that stuff. Just start teaching your baby. But the very, very first thing that I want you to do before you pull your child out of your school is find out what the laws are in your state. All right, comments, questions are welcome. I'm here to help you guys because I am very serious about children. This is why I wrote a book about my children, because I want to leave a legacy behind for them. And I want other moms, I want other parents of all races, creeds, nationalities, orientations to be able to teach their children what they want them to know. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video.